Good day everyone, at your service, Teacher Len. This time we will be discussing section 6 to 12 of RA 4670. Section 6, which is entitled Consent of Service and Transportation Expenses, is saying, except for a cause, and as herein otherwise provided, no teacher shall be transferred without his or her consent from one station to another. So, if you are teaching in the Pahulaw Central School, you cannot be transferred by anyone in other school without your consent. Or if you are teaching in any school in your town, you cannot be transferred by anyone in other school without your consent. However, for the case where the exigencies or demands or needs of the service require the transfer of a teacher from one station to another, such transfer may be effected by the school superintendent, who shall previously notify the teacher concerned of the transfer and the reason or reasons therefor. Ibig sabihin, sa mga pagkakataon na kailangan ng serbisyo ni teacher sa ibang school, pwede siyang i-transfer. Pero prior to transfer, dapat nasabihan si teacher at dapat malinaw ang dahilan ng kanyang paglipat. Ngayon, sino ang pinakamay kapangyarihan sa pagpapalipat ng guro? Again, ang school superintendent. If the teacher believes there is no justification for the transfer, he or she may appeal his or her case to the Director of Public Schools or the Director of Vocational Education, as the case may be. That was before. For now, if the teacher believes that there is no justification for the transfer, he or she may appeal his or her case to the regional director. So, from the Director of Public Schools or the Director of Vocational Education, teachers now may appeal of his or her transfer to the regional director. Then, the regional director shall render a decision in writing within 1 week upon receipt of the appeal. Pending his appeal and the decision thereon, his or her transfer shall be held in abeyance. Meaning, while the teacher is waiting for the result of his or her appeal, he or she can be transferred, provided such transfer shall not cause disruption in day-to-day school operations of both the receiving school and the host school. In addition, no teacher shall be transferred 3 months before any local or national election. So if in case you are in this case, please do take note of this. There should be no transfer 3 months before any local or national election. Tanong, does a public school teacher can request for a transfer with valid reasons? Yes. Ang tanong, does a public school teacher can request a transfer with valid reasons? Yes. Then who takes effect for the teacher's request for a transfer? It's the school superintendent. Please do take note also that necessary transfer expenses of the teacher and his or her family shall be paid by the government if the transfer is finally approved. So what about for section 7? This is about the Code of Professional Conduct for Teachers. Under this, teachers shall observe the Code of Ethics under Republic Act No. 7836, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994. If you want to study more on this, just search on the RA 7836. However, Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers shall be known by all teachers. Each of them must have a copy of the code, but if it is not possible due to the inadequate resources of Department of Education, each school principal must have at least 3 copies, which are accessible for use by teachers. In Section 8 of RA 4670, every teacher shall enjoy equitable safeguards at each stage of any disciplinary procedure. Ibig sabihin, ang mga guro ay may pantay-pantay na proteksyon o karapatan para depensahan ang kanilang sarili. So every teacher shall have the right to be informed in writing of the charges. Next is the right to full access in the evidence of the case and the right to defend himself and to be defended by a representative of his choice and or by his organization. In this manner, adequate time is being given to the teacher for the preparation of his or her defense. And the right to appeal to clearly designated authorities. In this case, there should be no publicity shall be given to any disciplinary action being taken against a teacher during the pendency of his or her case. Why? Because one of the reasons that I see is that to protect the dignity of the teacher. Because as being a teacher, according to the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, teachers must maintain their dignified personality. Another is that the defendant is presumed innocent until the court has made a penal decision. Tandaan natin yan, hanggat walang penal na desisyon ang korte, ang nasasakdal ay inosente. For Section 9, which is entitled Administrative Charges, this one is saying that administrative charges against a teacher shall be heard initially by the committee composed of the corresponding school division superintendent, or in short, we call it as SDS, or division supervisor, where a teacher belongs as chairman, a representative of the local, or in its absence, any existing provincial or national teachers organization and supervisor of the division. Provincial or national teachers organization and supervisor of the division should be designated by division supervisor. So, the committee shall submit its findings and recommendations to the Director of Public Schools. This what is in the Magna Carta. But for now, findings and recommendations should be submitted to the regional director within 30 days from the termination of the hearings. Now, if the school superintendent is the complainant or an interested party, kung siya yung nagre-reklamo, all the members of the committee shall be appointed by the Secretary of Education. Now, what are the grounds for administrative charges against a teacher? By the way, my reference to this is the DepEd Order No. 49, Series of 2006, Section 2 of Revised Rules of Procedure of the Department of Education in Administrative Cases. So what are the grounds for administrative charges against a teacher? Dishonesty. Next, oppression or pang-aapi. We have also the neglect of duty, misconduct, disgraceful and immoral conduct. Another to that is the inefficiency and incompetence in the performance of official duties, habitual drunkenness, gambling prohibited by law, receiving for personal use of a fee, gift or other valuable thing in the course of official duties or in connection therewith, when such fee, gift, or other valuable thing is given by any person in the hope or expectation of receiving a favor or better treatment than that accorded other persons, or committing acts punishable under the anti-graft laws. Therefore, receiving gifts, especially if the person who are giving the gift is expecting for a better treatment, then that is punishable under the anti-graft laws. What else? Falsification of official documents or pamemeke ng dokumento o paggaya ng pirma ng iba. That is a big no-no in our profession. Another, frequent unauthorized absences or tardiness in reporting for duty, loafing or frequent unauthorized absences from duty during regular office hours, and refusal to perform official duty or render overtime service. Those are punishable by law. Or dishonest conduct prior to entering the service. Borrowing money by superior officers from subordinates or lending by subordinates to superior officers. And lending money at usurious rates. When you say usurious rates, mataas na interest. There are a lot of grounds for disciplinary action. And if you want to learn more about it, kindly visit the site https www.teacherph.com DepEd Administrative Cases. Moving on, Section 10 tells about having no discrimination in the entrance of teaching profession or in applying for teaching profession. Of course, during the exercise of the profession and in the termination of services based on any ground other than professional consideration. However, for Section 11, it says here that married couples are allowed to teach in the same locality. And the last but not the least section of Article 2 is the Section 12, which is the academic freedom. Well, academic freedom is also discussed in the Republic Act 7836, in which teachers' teaching and classroom methods are emphasized.